Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And today I'm joined by a very special guest, Dudu Cearense. Did I get that right?
Cearense.
Cearense. Yeah, that's it. Dudu. I knew you was Dudu for many years. So, yeah, how you
No,
been, my man?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thanks a lot to invite me to talk in English. For me,
Yeah.
it's different, because I it's the first time I'm I give an interview in English, in the YouTube. The first time.
I feel privileged. I feel privileged. So it's the first of many, hopefully. First of many. I
No,
mean, yeah. If I wish I knew another language, man. I wish I knew Portuguese. It would be great. I would be speaking in Portuguese. So,
no,
how's things in Brazil, my man? How's things going there? I know it's been a bit tough this last year or so. It's been crazy.
Yeah, Brazil at the moment, you are suffering too much, about the pandemic. Everybody death here. Every day they topping high, in death here.
Hmm.
But okay, I hope, getting better and in better days or better in I think 2 3 months, I hope. But we need to live, need to protect us with the mask, the alcohol gel. Anyway, you hope better days in a few months.
God willing, everything will be okay, and we'll be back to normal again. We'll be in the football stadiums again, be able to watch some football. I really miss going to games. It's just this week we started having fans back in the stadium. It's beautiful. So hopefully this next year or so we'll be back to normal and everything will be great again, and we can start enjoying the things.
Where do you live? Where do you live now?
I live in London. I'm in London.
London is beautiful. I played there against Arsenal. Very
Well, at
nice.
the Emirates, yeah.
Yeah, Emirates. And Emirates is in the Embley. I saw it in Embley
Yeah,
too.
I think Brazil. They used to go to the Emirates Stadium. The Emirates
Yeah,
Stadium.
I play with CSKA Moscow and with Olympiacos in the national team and in Wembley and
In Wembley.
Wembley against Arsenal in the Emirates.
Oh, okay, yeah. So because Arsenal used to play at Wembley for a little bit in the Champions League, they used to
Yeah,
play.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, the
Yeah,
Emirates, amazing time, amazing.
yeah. Have you ever had thoughts about playing in England? I mean, you're a fantastic player in your time. You have Brazil caps. You've won the Copa America.
No, in 2007, I have an invite, to play in Portsmouth, Manchester City.
Mm.
And that time, I was in CSKA Moscow. I was played there. I have an invite, an offer, but to play in England, I need no visa, the work visa. I
Yeah.
wait for about 1 month, but my agents doesn't go to London, to discuss about the transfer. But anyway, and between that, I have an offer to not exact offer, but the Real Madrid want me, for next season. They ask me to wait 1 year, 1 year to move CSKA to Real Madrid. But I said to them, hey, I don't want to wait. I want to go now. But anyway, this is life. But I love London, England. The weather there is amazing. The stadiums, that atmosphere, I love.
Well, we love Brazilian football here as well. We Brazil. I remember going to see Brazil at Wembley in 1995, and Juninho, Romario were there.
Nah,
Fantastic players, unbelievable players.
these legends of the Brazil. You get
Yeah,
it. You got it. The best players of the world.
definitely at that time. I mean, Romario were probably one of my favorite strikers. Him and Bebeto were there, and it was a fantastic team. I was mesmerized. Like I was like, wow, the way they play football, the way they pass the ball. We were like, that's the level. That's the level you have to get to. Even to this day, I think Romario is very underrated as a player. He was fantastic at Barcelona as well. I saw him at Manchester United play against
Yeah.
United for Barcelona, and he was unbelievable. Which players inspired you when you were growing up? Which players in world football inspired you?
One play in Liverpool, Gerrard. Remember?
Which one?
Gerrard. Gerrard.
Gerard. Oh, Steven Gerrard. He's a
Yeah,
United rival. He's a villain.
yeah, he's inspiring me a lot, my friend. His style is very nice, when because he's tall, me too. I'm tall, and the style of the game, the skills, the how they play, how they kick, the game, the tackle, stronger leader.
Yeah, sorry, I lost you for a bit there.
But anyway,
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah. Sorry, I lost you for a bit there on the feed. Yeah, he was a fantastic player. I have to hold my hands up as a United fan. He's a rival to us, but he was a fantastic player. I agree. I always preferred Paul Scholes because he was a United player. But
Yeah.
Gerald was a good player. He
Yeah,
was
it's different style, Paul Scholes to Gerrard, different style.
so the move to CSKA Moscow, CSK Moscow. How was that? How did that come about? And what was it like playing in Russia? Because there's a big difference between Brazil and Russia. How did you adapt quickly to the playing style, to the weather as well?
Exactly. When I moved to Russia, I was in Japan, so I have to. I was moving Japan to. I was in a hotel, and I opened the window, and the snow, smashing so dirty, and I thought, oh my god, this. It was so tough, to adaptation in the country, the language, everything, But after 6 months, I start talking in Russian, okay, the basic Russian. I started to go to the school I contract on teacher, to teach me about the language. And now Russian is amazing. New stadiums, CSKA Moscow now have a stadium. It's amazing, it's so beautiful. In that time, the clubs have the power, have the. For example, we played in Dynamo Stadium. It's not our style, But it's not the beginning is not easy, But after that, after 6 months, okay, I'm adapted, everything all right. I played the Champions League. You got six titles, no? Is for me the best moment in my career. CSKA Moscow is the best way, to grow up after Olympiacos.
Yeah, it must have been a huge experience playing over there. They're a massive club as well, CSKA Moscow. They're always in the Champions League, And what was it like in regards to traveling over there? I mean, because some of the clubs, they're so far apart as well. They're like it's like a continent, isn't it? Flying from one place to the other, to this club, to that club. It's completely different sides of the world. How did you find that?
For me, I think is mentality,
Mm.
When you are strong in mentalities, you can go everywhere, and be the same. And when you be a professional player or professional in your career for any job, you have to be the same. Because okay, I have time everywhere, every time. Every time you. When I move to Brazil for anywhere, I understand the way what I passed there, because when I started my career when I was younger in my neighborhood, I came from the poor family, so I don't have many things. So I start like I put my mind the worst time I'll pass there. So when I arrive there, what I imagine I put in my mind is not like what I thought, So I think, oh, that's good. I thought is the best. I think I thought is the worst, but no. Now, okay, it's good. But the most important, the most insight is be strong in mentality for everything.
And always remember where you came from as well, and what it was like when you were growing up, obviously in Brazil. Was it difficult growing up in Brazil to play football? I mean, was you discovered early in your career? I know you played for Victoria, Botafogo as well. Was it a difficult to get signed in in Brazil, or is it very competitive to get to the top?
In Brazil, for example, when you see the players, the simple family, okay, some players when it came for the mid families, that's all right, but most of the players when they start career in Brazil, they don't have, for example, one comfortable family, So this guy, when 15, 17 years, they put in his the family back and the shoulders, Depression start in family because the father, the mother need this guy to send money, to keep, to help, because the all family, most of the family don't have money. So the fathers put the old dreams inside for the son, is not good. But when the guy understand, okay, I grew up my career, I do best for myself. Okay, I'm happy that club. So I start with one guy or expert guy or agent or advanced financial to help the players. That's good. But even like that, don't if don't exist one guy with the player be like a partner, and for every year he'll suffer, because it's not like about success, Oh, you many times, but to understand that the football is very, what I can say, it's not for long time, to have time for football players like 15 years old, maximum 70 years, in like 15 until it's 35 years, like 20 years. But you understand that you can make money as fast as possible is all right, but you need some guys to develop it yourself every time.
Yeah, 100%. Bringing it on to in Europe, we've had this big controversy with the Super League, of course, going on. I don't know if it's been broadcasted in Brazil a lot. Certain teams, the big teams, the Real Madrid, the Manchester United, Arsenal, they wanted to break away from the Premier League and create a league, a Super League. As a player who's played for Olympiacos and CSKA Moscow in Europe, how do you think that would have affected the football in Europe if this league happened, if it continued and they went through with this Super League?
When they start about the Super League, the big clubs, what I thought, okay, that they create for help the other clubs. If they put this, if they create and help the old clubs, what the one get the money and they split this money for the small clubs and the mid clubs, for me that's okay. But just create just for 5, 10 clubs inside that, so you'll be very different between them, so they get a lot of money, and the small clubs and the mini clubs stay there, never grow up, so the clubs will suffer too much because like you make one mini group to like, okay, forget the others. This our football of the world is not like that. and I'm not agree with that. But if they think about the all clubs to help, all right. About that, I'm not agree.
I mean, a league where no one can get promoted, no one can get relegated, it's unfair, because in England, the communities, we rely on the small clubs. The small clubs will keep the community, you know, there. And I used to live in an area where the football club, it was a small club, but the football club, it meant a lot to the area. And for these teams, I'm a big Manchester United fan. I was very disappointed in the Super League, the proposal, and with Manchester United going
The
forward.
fans want to kill them. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, we had a big protest this last. I don't know if you've seen the protests. We had huge protests. The game last week against Liverpool was cancelled. It was absolutely crazy. But I understand because football is about the bottom up. You have the small clubs and the big clubs. The small clubs need the big clubs, and the big clubs need the small clubs. Because the many players, world class players, have come from small clubs, and they've gone on to great things internationally or with big clubs. And it was very disappointing for me, and also disappointing that Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're still fighting for it as well. It's crazy. I just feel like they needed to. This shouldn't happen again in football because I feel like it would have destroyed football. The
Yeah.
grassroots, we call it the grassroots, the opportunity for for the kid growing up to play for a football club. It's only going to be 10 clubs in one league, and it would have been a terrible thing. In my opinion, I don't know what you think about that, but I feel like it was the protest. We had to protest because the owners of United, they're greedy, and this is the problem we're having right now: is greed in football, of course.
Now, if this happen, I think like you said, they destroy the football. So, of course, I don't know what's happened, but some clubs will be punished. The UEFA punish them about that. One big, main problems, and later I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but this will be crazy. This is it's like destroy, like you said before, destroy football, and the medium small clubs will suffer too much if this happen. Because like forget them. Just keep one out group. It's not the best way. To help the football and the out clubs.
It's okay if you have a Super League, but you have fair competition. You have other teams you can get
Sure.
to Super League, relegated, promoted.
Yeah.
That's fair. But
Yeah.
it's become like the States where you just no one can get promoted, no one get relegated, and it's the same every
Yeah,
season.
exactly. You need competition, for for the every clubs. When you do that, all right. But even that is about that is so complicated.
Exactly.
For the future.
Exactly. 100% agree. Bring it on to lighter subjects. I wanted to ask you about your career. You played with some great players, and against some great players. Who's the best player you played against?
Against the best player, against Ibrahimovic.
Ibrahimovic or
Yeah, Ibrahimovic, Figo is the best players. Henry was in Arsenal.
yeah.
Is amazing players. In Brazil also have great players too. Romario, I play against Romario.
You love fantastic player he was. You also played with Adriano, one of my favorite players as well.
Adriano, yeah, against Adriano, I play with Adriano too. Was well, great player, stronger player.
He didn't reach the level that he wanted to reach. He had one time he was playing for Inter Milan, and he had a great potential there to be the best in the world. I remember him. He was a beast, as a striker. He was brilliant. I'm surprised he didn't reach the level he should have reached. Do you think
Now,
is there a reason to that or?
Yeah, yes, one on his dad, one his dad death, at that time, his head is great, get crazy, he don't have the power mentality to keep that, and to turn up, the come back to football more stronger. So when his dad death is die,
Mm.
when you see that dies, he suffered too much, when you lose, like you are, like, no, like you lose your father, he's helped too much,
Yeah,
Adriano, and he's suffering too much and come back to football. I think his die, his dad died, and the football died to Adriano.
yeah.
Like the father bring together his football, because he lost many things, he lost his mind, is and no one bring to back. No one bring him to back to play football and the top level again. No one. He's what I know. I don't want to play more football. I don't love football anymore. I don't want to play anymore. So no money, no one bring to me to play football because I lost. You know.
This is one thing about, as a football fan, we don't know the situation of the player. You know what he's going through.
Um,
And I've done many interviews with footballers who have suffered from social media, things like that when they're not performing well. And the thing is that the average fan, we don't know what's going on in their personal life, such as Adriano. We just see Adriano, this fantastic player, and then he decline, and that's it. We don't see the personal situation, how they are feeling, etc. It's 100% true. We are human beings. You, at the end of the day, you're human beings, and this is the one thing that the fans have to accept. But he was a fantastic player. I mean, on his day, he was fantastic, in my opinion. One of the great strikers on his day. And I respect him highly. But in regards to Brazil now, Bachi is still in charge. How do you think Brazil are coping now? I mean, they got a good team, but where
Which
do you
him?
think the Brazil team right now? Where do you think they can go in the next year in the World Cup? Do you think they have a chance?
I, I, I don't mind what happened in the World Cup. I don't. I can't say nothing because Brazil is not, because when Brazil get the champions in 2002,
Hmm.
I tell you now, the players were inside the game in the field. Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Clebson, Gilberto Silva, Marcos, Cafu,
Yeah.
Edmilson, Roberto Carlos,
Rivaldo. I
Rivaldo.
see.
So
Rivaldo.
the,
Rivaldo.
yeah,
People
the
underestimate.
fans, no,
He
the
was.
fans, the support, they want to know like before. Is this no? It's never happened again. One national team is the best player of the world in each position.
In
It's
each position.
impossible. Now now you don't have the players like before. It's different way, different time.
Hmm.
Yes, you have great players, but in Europa, England, Holland, Spanish have good players too.
Hmm.
The competition is like equal.
Yeah, I agree.
In that time, it was Ronaldinho, Rivaldo. Okay, there is other national teams, other teams, very well, like England, Holland, the same way. But the Brazil is top.
Yeah.
The
But football,
Germany,
football back then was so there were so many world class players as well in
nah,
every team.
a lot, a lot,
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
mean England we had Scholes, Beckham, Gerrard, and in Italy, you know,
Exactly.
I don't think football now has reached that level. There's great players, obviously for Brazil. You got Firmino, Coutinho, all these players, fantastic players. But back then they were a different level, a different planet. I mean, I remember Rivaldo. I saw this player play against United 2 times, and he was unbelievable. This player, and for him not to win trophies like if for Barcelona. It wasn't the best Barcelona team. He carried that Barcelona team, and I see him just on one spot, just stand there, do scissor kick, boom, goal. Unbelievable player, you had then,
No,
and
they think very fast. It's amazing. They
yeah,
it's
just
different.
up here was a different level. He was. I think he's one of the greatest players of all time. But many players, many people they deny, they disagree. But I think
He
he was.
play like PlayStation. It's amazing.
He was unbelievable player. And when we played Brazil in 2002, England had a good chance then. We had a good chance to win the World Cup then. I feel England messed up in 2002. I feel because Brazil were down to 10 men as well in that game, and
No, like I said before, no, the like the Ronaldinho's great skills, Ronaldo, the best forward in the world, great goalkeeper, Roberto Carlos, Gilberto Silva. So in the bench, there is more great players. In that time, Brazil can create 4 national team.
Yeah, for real.
Many very very good players. I mean, even if Brazil don't get the championship in that time, I don't know the next time.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
they've been
know.
lucky to win it. Was it 5 times or 6 times now? They've been lucky. English, we have. I mean, you got Fred. Fred, who plays for Manchester United. I wanted to ask about Fred. He got called up to the Brazil squad. I mean, he's been criticised this season a lot. Where do the Brazil public, what do they think about Fred as a player for Brazil? Because he's had a tough time recently for United, obviously, and I rate him as a player. But do you think he's justified to play for Brazil, get into that Brazil side?
Before I answer your question, I'd like to question about.
Sorry, you got cut off. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to ask you about Fred. What the public and the press ask about what they say about Fred in Manchester.
Recently, he's not been playing the best football. There's been people who say that he's not good under pressure on the ball. He's not good on the ball. He's not good at passing the ball forward. Other players have said if you surround Fred, he loses the ball easily. And I like Fred. I think he's playing in a team that is not the best United team that has been. I mean, he's playing alongside another player, that I don't think they complement each other well. I think he's a good player. But in regards to Brazil and the history of Brazil, the players that they have, I was surprised he got called up to the Brazil national side. I mean, but he's one of my favorite players, but I was surprised. I just want to know what the feeling is with Fred in Brazil internationally, how they feel about him as a player, etc.
In Brazil, the public, the press. Okay, the public is not confident with him, and the press, they want to show more, they expect more about Fred in national team. So when they call one play like Fred, they play in Manchester. In my opinion, okay, I couldn't play from Manchester United. They play Premier League. For the national team is very important, because they play one of the best league of the world. So the pressure, how they play, how they think about the play very fast. In my opinion, as a player, ex-player, but the public and the press don't understand that. They want the answer immediately, It's not like the fans want, the press want, is but when they play very well in national team, in the next day the press down, the Fred's the best player, you know. But it's not like that. The most important, in my opinion, the Fred play well in the Manchester. If you don't play very well in Manchester, sometimes can play very well in national team. You never knows, because national team is like describe, the national team. What in national team? Play the best players in the world in that moment. So if Fred doesn't play very well in much time, in that moment, when he moved to national team to play, he play with the best player of the world in that time. So he can develop himself, grow up again, and come back to Manchester and play very well, because he's come back more confidence, more energy, get out of on time in the club, come back again, mentality refresh, fresh, and they play better.
It's true. I mean, he's under a lot of pressure as well as a Brazilian international. I mean, you're looking at Dunga, Cesar Sampaio, players like that, great players who played, and yourself, who played in the middle of the pitch for Brazil. So he's under a lot of pressure. As I can only imagine the sort of pressure it must be to play for Brazil. It's a passionate football's a religion, of course, in Brazil. Yeah. So, I understand what you mean. I mean, he's playing for Manchester United is difficult. At the moment, there's a lot of division in the fan base. There's fans who are turning on each other, and some don't like the owners, others don't. So it's been a difficult time for Fred, but I feel like he has been one of our better performers. It's just recently he hasn't been on his game as much as he could be. I mean, because I remember Fred at Shakhtar Donetsk scoring goals and free kicks, and he was a fantastic attacking player. But for United, he's more defensive, box to box. He has to tackle more. He has to do more work in defensively.
It's different tactics, different strategic, of the coach. The coach wants him like that in the game. And sometimes the fans and support don't understand, because that Fred don't go to more forward, because that time the coach wants him like that, You need to respect the coach opinion, I want like that. Okay, I answer the coach. I don't answer the support, I don't answer the supports, the fans. I need to answer my club and my coach.
It's true. Football is funny game. You're up and then you're down. And, Firmino was brilliant a year ago. For me, it was Liverpool's most important player, Firmino. Now, he go down a little bit. It's a difficult time for everyone, as well as the fans not being in the stadium as well. It's a completely different time in.
No, when the because the best moment for the fans, the supports, go to the stadium, it to leave the stress there, to shout out, shout out the players, the moment, to the fun time in the stadium, to get it, to drink beer, to fun with the friends, and shout out of the players, bad words. So they put the all stress of the week in that time in the stadium, And if the player understand this way, it's the best way, because everybody criticizes him and they say good things about the play, all the time. So have the both way for them, but these fans and support never, I can say, they never can change the game, but the game push them in the game, in the affection, and the loud, and the fans pressure in the stadium is the best way. I love that,
Football is the fans. You need football without fans. It's. I don't know about you. I love football, but without the fans, it was not the same. It's just.
Nah.
It's like a training game. It's like a training game.
to see, the sense is like cinema. Go to the cinema without anyone,
Yeah,
you don't have value.
exactly, exactly. In regards to yourself, I want to know who were your inspirations growing up, and what advice would you give to someone who wants to become a footballer in the future?
Uh, my father, he never told me like, Dudu, you need to play a soccer player. He never pressured me to be a player, never. But he's amateur. He's play as amateur in my city. So when I was 10 years old, so I follow him, to play in amateur, in the field, in some place and some neighborhoods, in Brazil. So in my city, so he bring to me to play all the time with tough guys, at the other age, and he was so strong, in the games, loud, the tackle, to discuss with the other players. When I look that, my father is like a leader in as amateur, when they play. So I think, indirectly, he's inspiring me, because I want to be like my father. No, I when I play, I won't be, because the support and the guys ask me, why you play so strong, why you play very emotional. Now I understand, because my father's like that. Before I saw my father, too much as amateur, for me he inspired too much, it without say anything to me.
He inspires you, yeah, 100%. I mean, the backing of your family is number one. It's the most important thing with everything.
Yeah, always
the backing
always.
of everything, to support you. Do you feel like you're going to get him back into football management? Maybe do you see yourself in coaching in the future?
No. Now my job today is advanced financial advisor. No?
Yeah.
Now I am a financial advisor. Now I care about the whole life of the players, no, in the financial. I protect him about financial, about the money, how you can invest that, keep that, protect yourself until after 10 years, 15 years old, in your life. You need time to invest, and when you retire, okay, after career, in good life, in good state, so I don't know, invest in good way for them. This is my job. Okay, before I become one financial advisor, I try in my mind to be a coach, but like start again the same way, depression, 20 years, 20 years, and the same way, go to the field, go to concentration, go to the hotel, and depression. In Brazil, coach, with the games, in the 4 games, if you lose three, get out. So every 3 months you move. It's not good way. I don't want. I want to live. I
Yeah.
won't go to I won't go to restaurant with my family. I want to go another city. I want to live. I want to be free. When I coach, you live that 24 hours.
Yeah.
Access too much. When you're a good club and good players, it's the best way. But without that, my friend, you suffering too much.
Sorry, you got cut off a little bit there. So
Now it's come back now.
what it just cuts off sometimes, and I get and It's okay. But what advice would you give footballers? I mean, a retiring footballer. I mean, of course, they're blessed with riches, and of course, it's easy to spend the money whilst you're there and spend all your money, and you retire and then there's nothing, isn't it? Because a footballer's career is short, of course. What advice would you give footballers out there who are playing now and beyond retirement?
When I mark one appointment with the players, no, the first moment, I need to explain how is his life, continues. For example, there is four step in life of the players, no. For example, 15 until 20 is like construction of the player, the career, no, and the 2025 is like I can say grow up, the his career, and the 25 years old until 30 years old is like the consolidation of the career, and the 30 until 25, 35, 36, 37 is like after career. So I need to explain to them to keep the time and to make strategic, about finance. What do you want? Do you want like you need to keep your life in that how the whole amount when you finish is if you not do that and make strategic, to keep your money and create good things, until there, after 5 years, you lose everything. Having percentage like 80% after 5 years, you have debt, in your life. And the 30% of the players, when they retire, they lose all money, Is the big percentage. So I create now in beginning of June, I create my company. My company, you have main parts to help the players, also the clubs. You create funds for the clubs. Some clubs have problems. For example, some clubs sell one player. For example, Liverpool sell Fabiano to Arsenal. So my funds like give in the front the whole amount for the Liverpool, because Arsenal need to pay the club. So they split the payments. My funds now, they give in the front and they get the debt in Arsenal. So that's the fund you create, as soon as possible. Okay, you need time, but before them, you have the all I can say, those sectors for the players, about the taxi, about the invest, and you create a great wallet, for them to protect themselves, like insurance. Also, the players need insurance, You never know what happened.
Exactly.
Because
Injury.
they think they can play, because they think they can play until 50 years old. No, never. But our company do that, because when I start when I'm 20 years old, I don't have that, with me. Okay, my agent betrayed me, My financial advisor also betrayed me. Is when I will retire, I think now I need to protect my class, the players.
It's inspiring what you're doing, because you're thinking about the other players as well now. Because many players don't think like that. When you're young, you just think about now. It's gonna last forever. That's it. I'm gonna play football forever. When it could be over tomorrow. You can have a bad injury and something like that. Then it's all over.
No, and one guy inspiring me a lot. One guy called Joey Klim. He was a basket player at NBA. So when he retired, also he started to make certificate, about financial advisor So he creates his company and start to help the players, the basket players. So we talk about billions in NBA. So he starts to help them, like for example, I want to buy a car. No, the player doesn't go to buy. The company go there. I want to buy one building, constructing building. No, it's not the best way. I want to invest in stocks and ETFs, like any things. No, wait. We discuss about that. And look, this amount you can keep it until 10 years you make a port, every month. All right. But the rest, my company keep everything, and help you the best way. This guy, for me, inspired a lot, because they help them, and they help his class, for me the same.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's very smart what you're doing. I mean, I know there was a footballer in England called Robbie Fowler. He used to play for Liverpool. And when he was younger, he made a lot of investments in property and stuff, and no one knew why he was doing that. But, it's obvious what he was trying to do. He's thinking ahead, of course. And it's good to have, a thought process like this to think ahead and to think about your career and what will happen when your career is over, So it's very inspiring what you're doing, So
thanks a lot. Yeah.
And,
It's tough world, huh?
it's a tough world, For me, in England, it's tough. It's for everyone. It's tough in a different way,
And
It's everyone.
That job to convince the players to come, to invest is not easy, because our class is so close, it's like a ball, to cut the ball and change his mind is not easy,
Because there must be so many influences around as well.
A lot, my bro, a lot. He have a lot of friends, and they bring down him to best way, just like I don't know in English the word like it make your blood and
suck your blood.
I don't know the word. How to say in English that?
What, like using you sort of thing to suck your blood, like take what you use you to take to get something in return.
Exactly. When you have friends like that, don't help him. Don't help any players. No, forget. But this the most important to convince them, about his life. Like you said, in that time is over, finish.
Exactly.
You need to think, until 10 years. So I prepared them for 10 years. After 10 years, what you keep it is until you die. Because you have, like in that time, you can receive sons, marriage, sons, and properties. You need to keep to pay that, the tax, the for insurance, and help the father, mother, is for to have a good life in organized life is not easy. It's not easy.
Exactly. Well, Dudu, it's been fantastic talking to you. I mean, you had a fantastic career, and I'm glad to see that you're doing so well off the in retirement as well. You inspired many, and you carry on inspiring people. And I want to thank you for joining me.
I sent to you when my company's open. I sent to you to understand what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. We'll keep in touch and everything because you're an inspiring man, and I really appreciate you coming on today to talk to me.
In London.
So you cut off there again, but
I come back because here the internet here is not very well. But anyway,
that's okay. That's okay. I want you to hear what I mean. I appreciate you coming on today. I really appreciate you talking to me. And let's stay in touch.
No, sure. I have your contact there. Don't worry. I hope to see you in London, not in Brazil.
Yes, I hope so. You're more than welcome. Definitely. Whenever you're in London, when everything is back to normal, just message me. I'm here, man. I'm here.
Okay, my friend. Thanks a lot for your time. Okay, thanks a lot for invite. You'll be in touch.
Cheers,
Okay?
bro. Thanks, bro. Cheers.
Okay. Bye bye. Thanks.